Hello and welcome to our free taster class. I am Jo Westfoot from the Crafty Nomad, and I am glad that you are all here joining us. We are seeing some comments coming through on the YouTube, and it's lovely to see where you are all joining from. So keep those comments coming. To our free taster class. I am Jo Westfoot from minor malfunction just there. Hopefully you didn't all hear that, but I think you probably did. But we are not used to doing this on YouTube, so you'll have to forgive us if we have any technical issues like that. But hopefully that's the only one. So hopefully you have got a pen and a piece of paper and you can make down some notes for the things that I'm saying. I think you'll find that really helpful. So, as I said, I'm Jo Westfoot. It's my hands and my voice that you will see in the videos that are the teaching videos that you'll have access to later on. This live session is just a welcome session for you to get to know me and so that I can show you how to access all of the video classes on the platform and answer any initial questions. Now, first of all, I want to introduce you to my helpful helper, Tracy, and she's just going to spotlight her camera now with us so you can see her face. There she is. Hi, Tracy.
Hello, sorry everyone. That was my technical issue, not Joe's. So lovely to meet you
That's
all.
okay. Thank you so much. So Tracy is going to be kind of looking at the comments and answering any queries, making sure I don't miss things as we go through the live session. So if you want to ask a question, be sure to type it in there. It's really helpful to us if you preface it with the word question in capitals so that we know what to look for. We think you need to be logged in to leave a comment. So if you're trying to leave a comment and you can't find the comment box, it's probably because you're not logged into YouTube. So unfortunately, you won't be able to ask a question that way. Now, as I said, we usually do this on Zoom. We've only done it a couple of times on YouTube, but here we go. That's just another learning curve. So, as I say, Tracy will be taking a look at that. She'll be putting some links into those comments. So when I talk about things that are helpful, she's going to drop those links into the comment box for you to click on if you need them. Brilliant. Thanks, Tracy. Okay. Gosh, you guys are from all over the place. Amazing. So I think there were some sound issues, but a few of you hopefully can hear me now. I think people are saying they can hear me. So hopefully things are good. Okay, so there are lots of new people here. So welcome to you if you are brand new to the Crafty Nomad. I just wanted to give you a little bit of background about me and kind of what the Crafty Nomad is all about before we get started. So I am a British patchwork and quilting designer and a teacher. I live in the south of England, but I have lived in multiple other countries around the world, hence my business name, The Crafty Nomads. In fact, I actually learnt to quilt whilst we were living in Australia. Now, I've been sewing since my teens, and I've been quilting for around about 15 years, I think. I used to teach in-person classes full time, but during the pandemic, like many people, I moved my classes online and I haven't really looked back. Really, the main reason for that is because I found it a really effective way of teaching people. People are more relaxed learning at home. They don't have to worry about forgetting tools or going slower than other participants. They can just go along at their own pace. Tends to be more effective because of those things. Now, all of my online teaching is done via pre-recorded video lessons, which means that you can pause and replay it as often as you like. Now, some of the courses that I run, for instance, the Free Motion Quilting Beginners class and also my membership, of course, they run over a period of time and they have several live sessions interspersed with them. A little bit like this one, but on Zoom, so it's more interactive. So there are plenty of questions, plenty of opportunities to ask your questions. There's also little question boxes under every single video lesson in the portal, which I'm going to show you in a little while. Tracy, I wonder if you might share the link to all of the courses so that people can have a look if they want to look at those. So as well as those courses and classes and things that have live elements to them, there are also some that are completely self-study courses, such as the glitter ball block of the month, the geometry block of the month. I've got courses in there on foundation paper piecing, free motion quilting. For intermediates, it's called FMQ Builder, raw edge applique, and also the scrappy quilt as you go baskets. So there are a number of kind of ones that you can just buy and just go straight away and work to your own pace. Now, just thinking about this class, when I wrote and recorded it, I wanted it to be similar to my Quilt Hive classes so that you could see what it was like to be a member. Because of course, I would love it if after taking this class, you decided to join us in the Quilt Hive Academy. And I also think that we've got some of our current members here tonight. So maybe they will type into the comments and let you know what it's like to be a member. Or perhaps if you've had success in one of my other classes on free motion quilting or something else, then we would love to know how you got on with that, and people would love to hear that. So please, please do share. I think Tracy might have a link, a special link to join Quilt Hive that she's going to drop into the comments just now. Okay, so that was a little introduction to who I am and kind of the background to the business here. But I want to move on now and talk about what we're all here to do. And that is to make a little basket that looks like this one, or perhaps this one. So it could have side handles, or it could be more like a caddy and have the handles on the front and back. So you've got choices basically of how you might choose to make your basket. So if you haven't signed up already, and I know there may be a few people that haven't signed up already, then you can click the link that Tracy's going to pop into the chat there, or it's also in the notes section underneath this video, and you can go ahead and sign up. Tracy, before we get into a little bit more about that, can you let me know if we've got any questions that I might need to answer at the moment?
We do have a question. It's from Susan Wiggins, and it's about the fact she wasn't able to get the 2.5-inch grid before this weekend. She's got the lightweight fusible interfacing, and she wants to know how she can draw the grid, how you would suggest.
Yeah, perfectly. There's actually a class directly on that. There's a video lesson on that in the portal. So as you watch through all of the videos, whether you do it tonight or another day over the weekend, you're going to be able to see exactly how to do that because it's covered in there. And it was actually this one that I made using regular interfacing that didn't have the pre-printed grid on it already. So I'll show you how to do that in the class. Great. Okay, so during the next 4 days, you are going to have access to all of the pre-recorded video lessons, and you'll be able to download the accompanying notes. And it comes with a workbook that looks like this. This is quite typical of workbooks that I would produce for my Quilt Hive Academy. So you can download that and print it if you want to. Don't print it, totally up to you how you want to use that. And it's going to show you exactly how to make this basket. Now, the videos are broken down into bite-sized chunks to make viewing easier. So it's not one huge long video. There are short videos that you can hop between, and they generally range between 3 minutes and 13 minutes in length. And the total time is around about 2 hours. All of them have English subtitles. They can't switch to other languages, I'm afraid, so it is all in English. But if you want to watch, whilst you're in an environment with other people, you can absolutely turn the sound off and there will be subtitles there for you. Okay. So it's a cute project that you can make with a mini charm pack like this, but you can also use scraps if you prefer. Okay, so you don't have to do that. The current Quilt Hive members have had access to this class for the last week and a half. and they have already started sewing up a storm, and they've there's a mixture of baskets that they've made. Some have used mini charm packs, others have used scraps from their stash. One lady was telling us at the live the other night that she had used the offcuts of a jelly roll, you know, so really anything you can use to make this with. It doesn't have to be a mini charm pack. Now, the whole purpose of it has been to use a mini charm pack, but you don't have to. Now, mini charm packs aren't always, or any pre-cuts to be honest, aren't always cut perfectly. Now, sometimes they are and sometimes they're not. And it depends on the brand as to whether they come up a wee bit small or they come up a wee bit big or they come up dead on. But they've all got one thing in common. They've got the pink and shaded edges, so the zigzag kind of edging to them, which makes it tricky to work with if you are making a traditional quilt, as it were. And you might not get the accuracy that you would had you cut it yourself with a straight cutter. So if I had a pattern, for instance, that was wanting to use 2.5-inch squares, personally, I wouldn't use a mini charm pack because I wouldn't be convinced it was going to come out accurately. So it begs the question, you know, what do you then use these gorgeous little charm packs for? And so that's what we're going to use. We're going to use one up and make a cute thing with it. And what we're going to do in order to get our accuracy is we're going to fuse it to the fusel interfacing, which is obviously what you have just been asking about, and to get that. And that is where the magic comes in, basically. We fuse it to it before we sew it together. And then provided we line it up really well when we're fusing them, our points when they're sewn together will be perfect. And I will cover that obviously in the pre-recorded videos for you. So in this class, you are not only going to learn how to make this kind of basket in this lovely boxy shape, but you're also going to learn, of course, how to insert a lining, how to insert the handles, about different stabilizers, as you'll see me using a variety of different options, how to use interfacing to get those perfect points, about the importance of using your walking foot as well, to deal with thick substrates. If you're new to using a walking foot, then obviously ask any questions, you know, when you're at that point in the class, using those those question boxes underneath the videos, and I will help you. But you'll see me obviously using that. It's also going to show you how and when to use a hump jumper. And you might be thinking, what on earth is a hump jumper? Well, don't worry, I'm going to explain that in the video as well. And I will be demonstrating that, but it's essentially, it's a little gadget that helps you get over a very thick or hump in the sewing. So a big chunky bit of the sewing, if your machine struggles with it. Even walking feet sometimes struggle with that. So this is going to show you how to use it. Now, this is one brand. I'll show you a different brand in the videos because I have a different machine, but either will work just fine. Okay. So let me know in the comments, has anybody ventured into the portal yet to watch the welcome video and the supplies video? So let me know. In case anybody hasn't, I'm going to show you how to do that now, but I'm also going to pause to see if Tracy has got any questions that have come in, because I've seen her smiling at the comments. No questions, just lovely comments. Okay, all right, it's going so fast I can't keep up with it, so it's over there on my left hand side, so I'm trying not to look at that bit. Unfortunately, the comments don't come up on the right hand side here for me as usual. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to pop over to the portal, show anybody that's new what it looks like, and how to navigate it, and then we'll have more chances for questions and things like that. So plenty to get through just yet. Let's hope I share the right screen this time. Okay, so this is what the portal looks like when you're not logged in. So if you just go to it, it's sewing-school.craftynomad.co.uk is the address, and if you're not logged in, then it looks like this. Obviously, you need to sign in to be able to access the class. So when you've signed up for the when you've signed up, you have set up a login, hopefully. If you haven't, then you can do that. And there's a link in the email that would have come to you already. And if you have any problems with that, with logging in, or your password's not working or something along those lines, then obviously email me. I'm going to give you my email address at the end of this. So if you have problems logging in, you can email me. I do request that you don't email me your questions about the course, because otherwise my email box is going to get lost in there, basically. It's going to be too busy. That's why we have the question boxes, which I will show you in a moment. It keeps it all in one place. It's really easy for me to keep on top of, and also it means everybody else gets the benefit of the answer of those questions. Okay, now the sharp-eyed of you will have noticed that when I logged in, I've then got lots more tabs across the top here than I had to begin with. So I'm just going to talk you through some of those and the differences between them. So all courses is where you would go if you wanted to buy a course, whereas my courses over here is where you go to access the courses that you've either bought or got free access to. So that's the one that we would be interested in to go and find the course. Patterns, pins and blog will just take you back to my normal website, so you can have a look at the patterns over there, and there'll be a link over there to come back over here if you want to do that, so that's fine. Quilt Hive is where members would get easy access to Quilt Hive by clicking on this button. If you're not a member and click on that, it will probably take you to the sales page. So that's not going to help you to get into Quilt Hive, but I'm going to show you Quilt Hive tonight. Frequently asked questions, obviously that's what that is. You won't have affiliate on there, that's just because it's my test account. Community is an important one, and we'll come back to that later, but that's a good place for sharing photos of your finished items if you're not a member of Facebook. Okay, just going to check my little crib sheet that I've got here. So the first thing to say is that this class is obviously best viewed on a larger screen, such as a PC or a laptop. If you're trying to watch sewing videos on a small phone, then obviously a small screen is going to make it tricky to see things. So the bigger screen that you can watch on, the better experience you're going to have. Also, if you've got a choice of different browsers to use, it definitely works better in Chrome with less hiccups in there. We've not had issues, I think, in Safari either, but one or two of the kind of the less popular browsers sometimes produce issues for people. So if you can watch on Chrome, I would definitely recommend it. Okay, so let's go find the course. So we'll go into my courses. Now, I've also given Tracy a direct link. Now, in the emails that I send to you about the course, you will have direct links in there to take you straight to the course. So you can use that to get straight in. You still need to log in, but it will obviously take you straight there rather than coming here to the tab. So Tracy can pop that in for you as an easy way to get to it. If we click on my courses, it will open them up. It's got a bit of a header at the top about Quilt Hive, and then when we scroll down, you can see loads of courses, because this is my test account, so they're all in here. But the one you are interested in is this one here, pre-cut magic piecing with blue. All right, so if you are a Quilt Hive member, you will also have a green version, which you will get ongoing access to after the class finishes on Tuesday. But non-Quilt Hive members, you're interested in the blue version. You won't see the green version. So I'm just going to click on that, and it will open up the course. Now, I'm sure if you have been familiar with online courses and classes in the past, you will be familiar with a lot of what I'm about to say, but there might be a few differences, which is why it's important for me just to go over some of these things. Okay, so this is the course curriculum, and I'm just going to show you a couple of these just so you know how to do certain things within them. The welcome video, for instance, just here. It's going to come up, and then you've got the curriculum down the left. You've got a bit of text, you've got some links, you've got the video itself. Sounds like a really obvious thing to say, but I have had this question before. You do need to obviously click the play button for it to start playing. You can make it bigger using this icon, so it can fill the whole screen if you want it to. You can go into settings if you want, and you can change the speed. So If I'm talking too slowly, you can speed me up to 1.25. I've been told that's a good speed. If you need a transcript, you've got the option to do that. If you want the subtitles, you've got the option to have those. I would recommend choosing the English United Kingdom, not the auto-generated one. This one down here is the one that we've worked hard on to make it correct, whereas this one, there'll be some funny errors where the AI decides to do it automatically, which is not as good. It will tell you how long the videos are just there. And this is the all-important question box just here that looks like this. If yours is not looking like this, email me and let me know. We had an issue with it a couple of months or so ago, and we think it's been fixed. And we haven't had any reports of it not being fixed lately, so we think it's completely fixed. That's where you would write your question to me. And you can see under here that there have been some lovely comments in here already. Scrolling down, you can scroll down and see them all. All right, sometimes it might not show you all of them. You might have to click a box that says show more. Now, if you want to go on to the next one, you can either press the mark as complete and move on button in the bottom right, or you can navigate in the left-hand side in that menu. I'm just going to go over to a type that has got a download on it, basically. So this one has got the key information document, which you'll have already seen, hopefully, but there will obviously be the workbook, which is, let's see, it's a bit further down, so it's in class introduction. So you'll be getting access to this now when you log in, and you'll see there's the workbook just there. So if you want to download that, you can by clicking the icon and saving it to your computer. Or if you just want to view it, you can view it in here. That's fine. But if you want it after the class is finished, I suggest that you download it by clicking that icon and saving it somewhere on your computer where you'll remember where it is. Okay, well, let's have a look. Anything else that I need to tell you about just here? When we're printing this one, if anybody is printing this off, you don't need to worry about it being 100% because there are no templates involved in this class. But if you do other classes that have templates, it's really important to open it up in a actual PDF reader rather than a tab on your computer browser, because quite often when we print from tabs, we don't get the sizing completely perfect. The printer does something odd with it. So just something to be aware of if you're printing out other things. Okay. So I mentioned there was a supplies video in here that some of you may have seen already because I popped it into the introduction area. I'm going to be talking more about supplies later, but this will go into more detail about what you need. Okay. Let's have a look. I mentioned community earlier. If you're not on Facebook and you want to leave a picture and enter the competition, which I'll talk about in a moment, you can click the community button and it will open up the community, and you can leave a picture in here with a comment if you want to. You can join just the Crafty Nomad sewing school one by clicking over here. I've got lots again because this is my test account. So there'll be lots of, there you go, there's some that have already been put in by the Quilt Hive members, so you can have a look at those as well. All right, whilst we are here, I want to go over and take a look at Quilt Hive. I know some of you are interested in Quilt Hive, so let's go and have a look and see what it looks like. So this is a bit of a sneak peek as to what members will see. So they'll have a little video there giving them some advice on how to use Quilt Hive, and then they'll see all of the classes that they've got access to. So I'm just going to scroll through these so you can see them, but there's such a lovely wide variety of classes that are available. In fact, just as an aside, some of you have joined the Facebook group already, and in there, when you got in there, you were asked a question to get into the group as to what you wanted to learn the most. And it's been fascinating, actually, to read some of those things that you want to learn about. And by far the most most common thing is precision piecing. We've got two classes really that are all about cutting accurately and piecing precisely. And in this class, we spend quite a lot of time talking about the scant 1/4 inch seam allowance. And whilst I touch on that a little bit in this free class, we go into a lot more detail in this class here. So yeah, you can see there's lots of really fun classes here. Some of the other ones that were mentioned were binding and getting the corners perfect. We've got lots of classes on binding and facing in here, just different types. You know, we've got flanged, so faux piped binding just there. We've got facing. It's curved binding. There's all sorts. So yeah, there's, I think EPP and FPP were mentioned as well, and also of course free motion quilting. Now I think I've gone past it, but there's an introduction to free motion quilting here. There's also classes on walking foot quilting. So quite a lot in there to be getting on with should you choose to join. Okay, I am going to stop the share and come back. Have we had any more questions, Tracy? No. Okay, great. Okay, so after this session, you are going to be able to watch all of those videos. They're actually there. They're live now. You can access them right now. I'm not making you wait until 8 o'clock or something like that. They went live at 7. You've probably received an email already from me whilst we've been here live, telling you that you can go and have a look at them. So you have got all weekend until Tuesday morning to make Tuesday morning UK time. So if you're in the States, that's probably sort of around midnight-ish, you know, the States time, depending on where you are, of course. And I would love to see what you're making, of course. So of course, I'm going to answer your questions throughout the weekend when you're asking them in the portal. So if you have questions, something doesn't make sense, then type it in, let me know. I will answer it in real time. You'll be able to get the answer, by the way, by obviously looking back in to that area to look at the comments. In fact, I meant to show you something whilst I was in there. Let me just pop back over and show you how to set it up for notifications. So if you want to get a reply by email to let you know that I've replied to your question, if you go into my account, top right hand corner, the little icon, and go notifications, you can toggle this little button to on, and it will mean that you'll get an email sent to you when there is a reply. Okay, so that's just your way to do that. Otherwise, you can just check back in and see if there's been a reply. But as I said, I want to see your makes. So do make sure to share them either in the community like I just showed you, or if you're in Facebook, then obviously share them with us in that Facebook group that we've been mentioning. Tracy has got a link to the Facebook group and she's going to pop that into the comments for you. But obviously, as I said, I appreciate not everyone's on Facebook, which is why we have the in-portal community as well. Now I'm going to pick some lucky winners. Okay, so we've got some fabulous sponsors who are providing some prizes. So not only is that a good reason to share a picture of your make, but obviously sharing the make is going to encourage other people to share theirs and to make theirs. It's going to give inspiration to them. You're also going to get some really lovely comments about your make, which is really encouraging to you. So definitely do share. Now, in terms of the prizes, we have got a £30 voucher up for grabs from Pebble Stitches. We've got a $50 voucher up for grabs from Sassafras Lane. We've got a Liberty fabric bundle from Morris Textiles, which is USA postage only, I'm afraid. We've got 2 prizes from me. So the first prize is 3 months membership of Quilt Hive, and then the second prize is 3 PDF patterns. So we've got some great prizes there for you, for 4 or 5, sorry, lucky winners. And that will be chosen by random, but you have to post your picture by 5 p.m. in one of those 2 places to make sure I see it. You could post on Instagram. In years gone by, we would have had the hashtag, which we do have a hashtag for it, but it's not reliable for me to be able to see everybody who is posting under that hashtag. So whilst I would love to see them on Instagram, that's not the place to post them to be entered into the draw. If you do want to post on Instagram, then please tag me. I am the Crafty Nomad Fleet on Instagram. Maybe Tracy can pop that in the comments. I don't think I've given her that link. I'm keeping her on her toes now. And the hashtag was hashtag precut magic SAL. As I said, I'm not sure how useful that is these days. Okay. Any questions, Tracy? I've kept
There
her
was
busy.
one question
Okay.
from a Quilt Hive member just asking if it was a different Facebook group to what we use to Quilt Hive. I did respond in the comments, but you might
Yes.
just want to address it.
Yeah, no, that's great. I will mention it. Thank you. So yes, there are two different Facebook groups. There is the challenges one, which Tracy's given the link for tonight, which is my free group. So anybody can join that one. And it's one we predominantly use when we're doing challenges like this or free taster classes. And that's where everybody can post in. And then we do have a separate group for people that are enrolled in any of the paid for classes, Quilt Hive membership, or any of the courses that I run, which is a much smaller group compared to the very large one. But it's for people who are focusing on learning a particular thing, and it's a great place for them to come together with the other people that are on the same course, or perhaps in the same membership. Okay, so as I said, I want to talk a little bit about the supplies. So there is a video, as I mentioned, in there all about what you need for the class. So do watch that, as I'll talk about the different options that you might have. But really, the main thing that I want to mention is that I want you to be able to make do with what you already have at home. Yes, I am going to be demonstrating on very specific supplies, and we mentioned that earlier when we talked about the gridded interfacing by Bosal, which looks like this. I think you can just about see that grid. It's very faint. I do show you that, but I also show you how you can use regular interfacing. So I will talk about the benefits of that, and I will obviously show you an alternative, because I want you to be able to get on and make this without having to buy anything special. If you do choose to buy that, you will see the slight differences between it. We've had comments in the Quilt Hive group already about the differences between the two. But as it is a small project, I would be very surprised if quilters don't have a few leftover scraps at home from previous projects that you have made. And that goes as well for the other type of stabilizer. So we're using two types of stabilizer in the project. One is for getting the squares together, which we just talked about, and then we need something to give it a bit more sturdiness. And in the videos, I show you two options, one being foam and one being batting. And again, any old batting will do that you've got at home if you haven't got any of the foam. The foam is quite a specialized product. You probably only got it if you made a bag or something like that. Whereas batting, most quilters have got leftovers at home. You could even piece it together if you wanted to use smaller scraps than the piece that you need. Okay, so in terms of supplies, I have put together an Amazon storefront shop if you want to have a look at some of them. I'm very much an advocate of you supporting your local fabric shop. So whilst I have the Amazon storefronts available for most of the classes that I run, they are there to be able to showcase what I'm using. I would much prefer it if you kept our fabric shops alive by shopping there than buying in my Amazon storefront. But if it's convenient for you, then obviously go ahead and do that. Bosal interfacing. I could not find this product on Amazon anyway. So somebody else did. They told me about it last week, but I couldn't find it on Amazon. So I've got a couple of links I've given to Tracy to put into the chat based on whether you are UK based or US based, some places where you can buy this if you want to. You can either buy it by the packet like I did, or you can buy it by the meter or the yard if you're in the States. I'm afraid if you're outside of those two areas, I haven't got links for you. So you'll have to do a search, an online search. Okay, I think that's everything I've gotten written down here, apart from one last comment. So I'm gonna just give you some moments to ask if you've got any more questions about this. I'm just there's so many comments that have come through that I haven't had a chance to look at these at all because obviously my eyes have been here. But brilliant. Okay. Yeah. Oh, good. So Jill is here, and she's one of our members, and she said, "I love the videos. They're in bite-sized chunks, easy to find the bit that you need if you want to go back for a refresher." Yeah, that would be really tricky, wouldn't it? Trying to go back and find the right bit in a 2-hour video. That would be really tricky. So, okay. Oh, I like this. Yep. So somebody else says they've also prepared the squares from off-cut jelly rolls. Great. And Jill says she's still looking for a mini charm pack. You were looking for that last week, Jill, I think. Okay, so brilliant. People from all over the place. Amazing. Amazing. Come from so many different places. Great. Okay. So provided you have signed up already, then you will have your login details and you've already received an email from me about how to access class platform. If you haven't signed up, sorry, if you've signed up but you haven't received those emails from me already, then chances are there's a typo in your email address when you signed up. So if that's you and you think you had signed up and you haven't got an email telling you how to access the class, then email me and I will try and resolve that issue for you. The email is jo@thecraftynomad.co.uk. I think Tracy's going to type that into the comments. So email me. As I said before, please don't email me the questions about the class because I want those inside the portal so everyone can benefit and it's an easy place for me to answer all the questions there. But access, obviously, if you can't get in, you can't leave a comment about that. So obviously email me if you've got a problem with accessing the information because I really want you to be able to get in and have fun making this and watching the videos this weekend. Okay, I think that's it. Tracy, have I forgotten anything really important that you can think of? No. Okay. All right, last chance then for people to ask any questions. We'll wait a minute because there's like a 10-second lag on coming from Zoom, which we're working in through to YouTube. I've just seen a comment here from Jilly. She said, yeah, there's also a quilter's grid feasible interfacing with 1-inch grids, which is readily available in most shops and work too. Yeah, absolutely. So you absolutely don't have to have the 2.5-inch one. 2.5-inch one works obviously super easy with the 2.5-inch squares on here, but you could definitely use a 1-inch grid and line it up so long as it's all parallel, then you'll be good. So you can do that, Tracy, or just signaling to me.
Yes, there is a message from Connie. She said, what are the sizes of items on your supplies list? Do you mention the 15-inch size for the lining?
You'll find all of the sizing and all of the guidance in the workbook. So now you can get in and view all of it. You're going to want to go in here, but essentially your interfacing needs to be a minimum of 15 inches square. It needs to be a fusible interfacing, and your batting or your foam needs to be it will depend on what you're going for, but round about 12.5 inches. Okay, so you'll probably need to trim it up a wee bit depending on which option you're going for, but 12.5 inches is what you're looking for. Square, obviously, we're making a square. Okay, any other questions, Tracy? Was that it? That's everything. Okay, well, hopefully you found that useful to listen to, get to know me a little bit, and also now feel really comfortable on how to access the course and how to use it easily and navigate it easily. Most important thing is to obviously to remember to ask questions this weekend for anything that isn't clear to you and you need clarifying. That's what I'm here for, is to make life easier for you. But yeah, next important thing is I really want to see these baskets. This is definitely achievable easily within the next 4 days. So I'm really excited to see all the different fabrics that you choose to use. It's been an absolute joy seeing the ones come together from the Quilt Hive members. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing what you make. And we'll have a lovely showcase on Sunday. So Sunday is our next live session. It'll be a wrap-up session. We'll do the prize giving on Sunday evening. So definitely make sure to be here to see if you've won a prize. I'd love to do some show and tell. So if anybody's feeling brave and wants to come on and show us what they've made and have a chat about it, that would be lovely. Or go or dry. But even if you're not brave, and want to come on and share in terms of talk to me, definitely I'm going to be sharing lots of your pictures of what you've made, because always really inspiring for everybody else. They love seeing makes. So the more we share, the more everybody will benefit. Was there any other questions, Tracy? No. Okay,
No.
lovely. Oh, lovely. That's good. So Amanda says she's very excited to get started. Brilliant. Lots of people watching from all over the world. How lovely. Okay, right. Well, that's just one thing. So yeah, so the link for the wrap-up session will be in the emails that coming out to you, and it's also in the portal, so you can grab it from there as well, or just go into YouTube because it's already set up as an event, so you'll be able to see it there. Anything else? And access is until Tuesday at 9 a.m. I think that's it.
Yeah, and just, if you are on Facebook, feel free to leave comments and be positive and supportive with everyone else that's sewing along.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. All right, well, thank you for giving us your time tonight, and we look forward to seeing all of your makes. So bye for now.